So I was in prayer this morning, Ivan, and one of the things that kind of came to me was, it was so funny, and it was like, Lord, I will not destroy your creation with my lips. Sometimes we are the weapon that's forming against our brother. We quote the scripture and third person and detach ourselves from it.
Right.
But sometimes we're the weapon forming against the people we love because we're putting our lips on them over and over again. Mm-hmm. And that can be the greatest weapon to destroy not just the people around you, but humanity, how we put our lips on people. And I wanted God to free me from that. Mm-hmm. God, let me not have frivolous conversations about people, even though they may seem innocent and I'm not all the way participating in it. I don't really have a feeling, but I'm allowing somebody else to have conversation about other people because that tears people down. Yeah. That gives people a perception of somebody else that they should not have.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
That person doesn't get to argue their case in the court of public opinion because you sat there and let somebody form it, and versus speaking up or let's just stop participating in it.
Yes. Yeah.
I've done it.
Absolutely.
I've done it. I've done it, and I knew what I was doing, and it made me feel kind of good a little bit. And that was the part where I had the capacity to explore my own evil, my capacity for evil, my capacity for disruption or pettiness or manipulation. That's being human.
Right.
That's a human.
Right.
Those things are human, and I had to truly go to the depths of where that comes from. And I had to say, God, I've done more destroying with my lips than anything.
Yeah. And when we use our words, when we use our voice, death and life is in the power of the tongue.
Backingtons.
And so just as well as we can speak life, we can speak death, even unaware.
Man.
Even unaware, just by, listening, right? It's not that which comes out of the man that defiles
yes,
him,
come on now.
Which that comes in, right? So you have to be careful what you actually even, what you're even listening to, and just, actually being in the participating of backbiting. So yeah, that's just one of those things, man. We have to allow ourselves to be completely, totally free from. The only way we can do that is just,
Tim telling you to hold your mic up.
Grace. It can only be done by grace.
I think you probably need to say that in the mic, but that's true, man. And it's such a perpetual cycle, and it destroys us because we're communities, and we need to, and more than ever right now, we need a banning of not just society, but of the community, of the families.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing that's one of the things, frivolous conversations about each other. We got to participate in building each other up. Mm-hmm. Taking if we can take the necessary time to hear somebody tear you down, you can go build them up too. Counter that offer if you do that, because listen, people do that. People like drama, so we do that, and it won't be the last time. I'm not going to stop people from doing that. It might not be the last time I do it. Sometimes it's unconscious. Right. Sometimes we just do it. It seems harmless.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it's doing anything.
Right.
But you're building a false resume about somebody that again didn't get a chance to participate in your opinion about them.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly unfortunate. So when you meet them, you're judging them on something that they never confirmed or denied. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's an assumption. You're dealing in the gray,
right.
So, and that's why we got to, that was my prayer, man. And that's another way to get better in life.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
Another pathway to success, in my opinion.
Yes.
God, I will not destroy your creation with my lips.
Yeah.
My tongue is sharp. Mm-hmm. Our tongues are sharp. All we do is talk on social media. We're gonna be on social media now. We gotta be mindful of what we say. I think that's one of the weapons that we have against the destruction or the chaos that we see in society.
Yeah.
It's not so much our sanctimonious things that we do to try to honor God, but we honor God by honoring his creation.
Absolutely.
Whether they're treating you with respect or not, you're honoring God's creation.
Yeah.
You're honoring the sacrifice that Christ made. Was not if they're acting right. It was not if they're doing the right things by you. Yeah. It's because they have breath. They have an opportunity to do the right things by you if you decide to give them some grace.
Yes. Yes.
You got to give people the opportunity to walk out their process.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You got to give people the opportunity to grow, because there's going to come a time where you're going to need to grow. There's going to come a time where you're going to need somebody to give you grace during your growth process. Because during the growth process, what happens is it's filthy, it's ugly. You fall a lot. Yeah. You say you're going to do one thing, and you don't do it. You say you're going to work out, then you go eat a pizza. You say, come on, let's be honest. You say you're going to work on that book, but you never write it. Right. And then you get on social media and say, I'm struggling. So I'm going, I can't write. No, do it. Yeah. Go out and do it. Stop it. Do it. So that's the growth process. Right. It's contradiction. Right. Constant contradiction is the growth process.
Absolutely.
It's just what it is.
Absolutely.
And you need somebody to believe in the person that God called you to be, not the person that you're currently struggling with. That's why it's important who you have around you. That's why it's important you to keep your lips off people, because you're gonna need somebody to put their faith in you. You're gonna need that versus them putting their lips on you. But that's how are you gonna do it? Are you going to win behind closed doors when nobody's looking? Think nobody's looking? No, that stuff travels.
Yeah.
You think nobody don't hear you. You think that conversation's just in the dark. It's just not in the dark.
Right.
I ain't mean to get on the tangent, man. But
absolutely.
Man, just being with God and really seeing myself, diving into myself, man.
And really, honestly, I mean, you're attacking it the right way. First, in prayer, and not going and praying that, hey, God, deliver people from me that's doing this. No, deliver me first. Like sometimes, he said that judgment has to start in the house of God first.
That's good. Right? That's good,
so
Ivan.
If we're the temple,
come on, Ivan.
If we're the temple, we got to start with our own house first, and that's really where it comes down to. It makes it a little bit easier for us to be. It puts us in position to be able to be responsible for somebody else that's actually doing it, and we can actually grace them in that moment, because we know that there was a moment when we were actually in that exact same circle, and God actually graced us.
That's fact.
And we were able to, get in the closet of prayer and let God be able to do the deliverance.
Yeah, and one thing we have to do, Ivan, is suffer for our sanity.
Yes.
Because let's go back to the original. We talked about taking our lips off God's creation.
Mm-hmm.
When you suffer for your sanity, you want to get back, because sometimes people deserve it. You be like, bro, I done took it too long. I ain't letting you talk about me. I ain't letting you do this to me. And my goodness. But you got to understand, when you retaliate, you recreate a perpetual cycle of nothingness.
Absolutely.
Of absolute rabbit hole nothingness. Because tit for tat is always going to be tit for tat.
Yeah.
AKA politics.
Yes.
AKA politics.
Yes.
It's arguing about something till it no longer has any value.
Right.
And that's what happens when you go tick for tack. That's why you got to suffer for your sanity. So suffer them talking about you. Suffer them scandalizing your name. Be low. Be quiet. Let your character speak louder than your mouth.
Yes.
I'm repeat. Yes. Let your character speak louder than your mouth.
Yeah.
God was teaching me that. If you took the time to stop destroying my creation with your lips,
you'll be able to see the character.
You can because through true character, God shines.
Absolutely. Because now he speaks.
Absolutely.
He speaks.
And now the only motive is to please him. It's to walk through purpose.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what it is. And that's why I was floored, man. So, man, prayer time, man, it's something that, man, I'm starting to really understand and intercede for my kids now.
Mm-hmm.
I got children. I'm finding that being a father is such an internal
job.
It's a presence for the rest of their natural life.
Yes.
I heard somebody say the day that I was speaking with that she's 50 years old and she never forgave her father for not being in her life till the day he died. 50 years old. And I thought to myself, it wasn't judgment that came to mind about him, because, again, there was something that he was struggling with. No excuse, but it was.
Right.
And not judging her at all for holding on to that. But just the tragedy in that situation.
And the heaviness that she's actually walked around with for 50 years for that non-forgiving. Because, non-forgiveness is almost like a sickness. You keep taking a pill of sickness and expecting the other person to actually get sick from it.
Oh, man.
And it can be so infectious. And, it's difficult. And to be honest with you, isn't forgiveness one of the hardest things to do?
Man, listen.
Especially when you don't think that a person deserves to be forgiven.
That is what we kind of talked about. It's really destroying your flesh.
Yes.
Because your flesh flares up without reason.
Yes.
It just does.
Yeah.
It just wants to consume.
Yeah.
It's gonna consume at all costs.
Yes.
No matter the damage to your spirit, your flesh is going to keep going.
Right.
It is not in conjunction. It is not parallel. It is trying to take control of who you are.
Yeah.
It's trying to grab your soul. And it's the flesh is just the flesh.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So being able to forgive, meaning that is destroying some of the traits and characters that you built up, some of the idols that you built up, some of these principles, principalities, these principles that people live by that are destroying their life because we built the principle that we want. No, it's God's law. Forgive, love your brother. It's not our principles, it's God's law.
Right,
Forgive your brother.
Right.
Forgive your brother.
Yeah.
What are you walking around with resentment for? Think about that. That's our lips. Because with resentment, you're going to put your lips on people, even people that don't deserve it.
Right.
So that's the thing about unforgiveness. You don't just give it to the person that did you wrong. You give it to the people that didn't deserve it too. Because again, you got a negative mindset. You are now, what's the word I'm looking for? You're contentious now. Everything, you don't believe anything anybody says now. You have an evil eye at your brother now. You think that everybody has a motive now because you haven't forgiven the person over here. And listen, we're all here.
Right.
This is not a message for somebody. This is a message for all of us. All of us got a measure of listen, until we reach the pinnacle of unconditional love, there's some unforgiveness that we all have in us.
Absolutely.
We may just not be able to see it because we cover it up in accomplishments. Yeah. We cover it up in goals. We cover it up in our purpose. We cover it up in our gift. Forgiveness is something you're going to have to strive for.
Yes.
And it's not an event.
No,
it is a daily walk.
Absolute daily
it's a
process.
Daily walk.
It's a daily process.
And if I've been on the end of having to forgive, and I've been on the end of not being forgiven. Both of them are hell.
Yeah,
both of them are hell. But if you got the power or you got the opportunity to do it, do it.
And one of the toughest parts, one of the toughest places of forgiveness is knowing how to forgive yourself.
Man, come on, Ivan.
We talk about the burdens that other people are carrying because they haven't forgiven us, but have we forgiven ourselves?
That's good, Ivan. That's
that
good.
Situation, because sometimes we'll hold ourselves in condemnation.
Absolutely.
And if we don't release ourselves, how could we ever expect somebody else to release us?
Man,
will we even feel the effect of them releasing us if we haven't released ourselves?
Man.
So, forgiveness is one of those things that is a daily process. It's really something that you really have to make an actual practice, not an event, just like you said.
And that's that growth process. That's what I was talking about, giving people grace through that growth process.
Right.
Because they're gonna and people get stuck in the growth process because of unforgiveness.
Yes.
The stop sign of unforgiveness, and the red light of unforgiveness, and it never turns green. And it's not going to turn green for the person that's unforgiven or anything like that. So it's not going to. My point is that when people are going through their growth process, it can be easy to speak about them. It can be easy because they're fallen.
Yeah.
People, for some humanity, we have this thing for The rise and fall, the fall and rise, the fall, the fall, the fall. We are addicted to drama.
Yeah.
We like those type of narratives. And when we see that, it makes us feel a little bit inside, like, at least I ain't doing that bad.
Right,
we all do that.
right,
I've done it.
yes.
I've done it.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm saying you got to be willing. Let's stop acting like we're righteous. Let's be willing to explore our capacity for evil so we can become whole.
Right.
So we can understand when these things are coming up. That's why we go out of control, because we try to subdue good. That we're in the consciousness of good and evil.
Yes.
Both of them exist. You better get to know both of them, because you got the knowledge of both of them, and they're both inside of you. I don't care what kind of title you have, how much money you have.
They can't both be from the same source.
I ain't going there. But it is.
Absolutely. With everything in life, we know that there's always a balance.
Yes, it is. And with that, with the harmony of good and evil.
Yes.
It's the wholeness of humanity.
Yes.
The harmony of good and evil is the wholeness of humanity. And when you become fully human, you understand your brother's suffering because you were subdued by evil as well.
Yes. Yes.
You reached good as well.
Yeah.
So that eliminates judgment.
Yeah.
I didn't say go commit evil. I say explore your capacity for it. When you're feeling jealous, just say you're jealous. Don't come up with an excuse about, it's this. You're jealous.
Yes.
Because oftentimes we're jealous because we had the opportunity to do the same thing a less talented person did, but they took advantage of their opportunity and we didn't.
And so all that is what? Us projecting our own actions on them. It's our perception.
It is another sign that we don't fully love ourselves. I think we love ourselves in parts. I think there are parts of us, but we love ourselves in parts. We might like this about ourselves, but the other parts are controlled by the opinions of others who didn't even create you. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
When are we going to restructure our opinions of ourselves? We got to go. That's what I'm going through, a restructuring process right now. Like, I'm really like, okay, so why is this person opinion affecting me so much? You know why? Because there's a measure of truth.
And you know what? No matter what people may say, no matter how the chips may fall, nobody really loves the truth. We don't. Oh yeah, just tell me the truth. I want the truth. No, because if you get the truth, it may destroy you.
It will.
It not destroy you physically, but destroy your mindset of that you thought. It was like, because when you start to hear the truth and you know it's the truth, what ends up happening? You become defensive. You become It puts you in a place to where you feel like you gotta now defend yourself and say, oh no, but I'm not that because of this.
It distorts the world that you created in your mind.
Absolutely.
It distorts what we call your imagination.
Yes.
That's what it does.
Yes.
Because, Ivan, every day we're building a world in our mind. This what we see in the reality is sort of a prison.
Yes.
You know, it's sort of like, man, because you really can't control that reality. But inside of your mind, inside of your spirit, you built a whole utopia.
Yes.
And what you're really trying to do is get what's inside of your mind in this reality. Yes. Some people have succeeded doing it. That's why we really, at the core of us, that's why we really get jealous, because we know that we have genius level ability that lives inside of all of us, but there are certain circumstances that has hindered your genius. Some people get lucky. Serendipity happens for a lot of people. They just at the right, they just fall into it. It just happens. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But timing is everything. That's why it's important to love yourself, because you might miss the very thing that you need to activate your destiny. That's why you have to love yourself, because listen, the people that, remember I talked about opinions, it might stick a little bit because of the truth in it. You got to be able to rise above your own truth, because you're flawed. Remember, you have to explore your capacity for evil, because we're flawed. If you explore your capacity to evil, the opinions of others, when they reveal it, when they say it, won't matter, because it's not a revelation of you.
Right. Exactly.
They're just confirming what you already know, and that way you can live with yourself. And you get what I'm saying now, Ivan?
Right. It's kind of like when Paul had to embrace the thorn.
There you go.
He had to embrace the thorn. He had to embrace that actual pain, embrace that actual flaw that he had. And as he embraced that flaw, he was able to find himself doing all things and becoming all things to all men.
That's crazy, Ivan. Because that's what I'm finding. I am beautifully flawed.
Yes.
I
Yes.
no longer need to hide what I don't like or what I do like. It's just about who I am and what I'm becoming as a man.
Right.
The man
Yes.
that God created me to be, the man that I desire to be, and the man that my family needs me to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and those things are beautiful. You know, those things comes with their own set of flaws. Those things comes with their own set of circumstances. But how do we weather the storm?
Yeah.
By what? By actively taking a measure of loving ourselves.
Yeah.
Loving ourselves, suffering for our sanity, not putting our lips to destroy God's creation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We are not here to just strictly serve our dreams and goals, because our dreams and goals are connected to other people.
Absolutely.
And you fulfilling your potential, you doing everything that God called you to do will help the people that God called you to become successful as well.
Yes.
That's why we just can't make excuses about, well, my mama didn't do this for me. Well, I didn't get this from my daddy. Well, I didn't have this. Oh, I didn't have that. So nobody cares. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. That's the mentality. Yes, okay, that's motivational. Now let's talk to the steps. Again, love yourself. Take your lips off of other people first. Let's start there.
Right.
Because you know what the first thing that do when you take your lips off other people? You put your lips on yourself.
Right.
You're going to say something.
Exactly.
Whether you use your mouth, your ears, your eyes, you're going to use a sense to talk to yourself. And now you're going to have to look inwardly. See, when my vision looking out started getting blurry, my vision got clear on the inside.
Yes.
I started saying, ooh, ooh, that's not good.
Right.
That wasn't good. But I learned not to live in guilt and shame.
Yeah.
And that was the most important part, getting past the guilt of your own mistakes. Just live in it. You did it.
Yes.
Own it.
Yes. Yeah.
Your power is just not in how many battles you win. It's how do you respond when you lose a battle? And that's where your power is.
And you know what that essentially is your ability to be vulnerable, not your ability to be vulnerable with other people, your ability to be vulnerable with yourself.
Come on, man.
And as you get to your level of vulnerability, that's when you're actually in your highest level of strength.
Man, that's good.
When you're okay with allowing yourself to be completely down to who you actually are at the root, you're in your strongest place, because nobody can ever say anything about you or against you that you wouldn't already have recognized or recognition of. Now that you have recognition of that, what they said, okay, I heard it, but it doesn't actually have the exact same effect, because I've been looking at it every single day, allowing myself to become more and more vulnerable.
It's about cutting off the effect that it has on you.
Yes.
Whatever your demon is, you're not going to beat him in one day. Chop the tree down slowly.
Yeah.
If you normally get down and anxious and depressed for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, cut it down to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Be practical about beating your demons.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to strategically beat them. They're not zombie movies scaring like this. These are sophisticated beings.
Yeah.
These are really highly intelligent beings, sort of like AI. These are things that, we like to romanticize or storytell or fictionalize God and demons and angels, versus like they're not fighting us in those days. They're not coming to us with sandals on. They're fighting us in the form of where we are.
Yes,
because they won't be able to. If I seen something like that coming to me that was primitive, no, primitive demons or that's back there. The legion, whatever fighting you now, is sophisticated. It's in this level. It knows what you know. It reads what you read. It's collecting the data. That's what I'm saying. That's why we got to be strategic in our fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of anybody. It's kind of any enemy. An enemy is going to watch a person.
Absolutely.
Right? If they're looking to come against you, if they're looking to try to rise against you, they're going to watch you. So yeah, they're not going to just come and reveal themselves. So it's like, hey, here I am. No, it's going to be in a way which it is that they've actually been studying you, watching you. And you have to understand that they're not just going to, like show up like when the boys of Skiva, and he said, I cast you out in the Jesus that Paul preached in Acts. And he says, hold on, Jesus I know. Paul, we know that guy too. But he said, who's you? And the reason why he was able to come against him is because it was his lack of belief.
That's good.
If you don't believe in you and you're placing all your belief in them and you don't actually come in and add authority on your own, we gonna come to you that way. But that's not how they're doing it anymore. They're not coming to you and showing you or revealing themselves to you like that. It's revealing themselves to you in possibly a message or an email.
Yes.
Or however that message actually comes to you.
There you go.
It's at a sophisticated level now. So
and I think that's why we have to humble ourselves and let God fight our battles.
Yes.
Because not only because if they're fighting like that, don't you think He is too?
Yes.
I prepare a place for you in the presence of your enemy.
Yes.
Don't become like them. They're just in the presence of you for you to be a light, not for you to become with them. You know what I mean? So that what I mean by that is don't start being like your own enemy. So don't, because they're putting their lips on everybody else, don't you start doing it.
Yeah. And it's a reason why He's allowing them to exist there.
Absolutely.
Because they're pulling something out of you that wasn't going to come out of you any other type of way.
And let me be fair about this. Let me say this. Being the enemy is interchangeable.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I'm the enemy.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I'm the enemy.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you're the enemy.
Absolutely.
We got to get that message clear. Because we get emotional when we see stuff online, when people talking about the enemy, and we go immediately right to the person that we got an unforgiveness with, like we just talked about. Right. We go right to them in our mind, and we want God to fix them because you're so emotionally obscured in this message. Because whenever you put yourself in the message, that'll calm your judgment down. Yeah. And then you'll be able to see the message for what it is, not for what you want it to be.
Right.
That's why we got to be, that's why it's always important to again, the message for tonight, we talked about taking your lips off of other people and don't destroy God's creation. We also talked about, exploring your capacity for evil, exploring it, and also for good, because what we want to do is let them work in harmony, not commit evil, commit good, but not commit evil. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about realizing that you have the propensity and understanding it. You know what I mean? Like I talked about with the jealousy, like the enviousness, coveting what people have, wanting something, looking at somebody's success and wanting that success, and you try to take a shortcut. How dare you try to take a shortcut when that person had to labor, that person had to sit alone for years, when nobody knew who they were, and then they finally get to the top, and you just want to skip right there. That's why people get mad. That's why business owners get mad when you ask them for discounts, when you try to shortchange their business, because it took hours and hours and hours, grueling hours, no after no after no, days after days where you think you wasn't going to last, like years when nobody was looking, when people was calling you a failure. They told you to just go back and get a job. They told you this ain't for you. They told you that just do it this way, but you refuse to quit, and you finally break through, and then somebody want to just, no. Yeah,
absolutely. No. I mean, you can follow my blueprint.
Yeah.
But shortcut, we can't do that.
We can't do that.
We can't just walk you. This ain't Candyland.
No. That's what I'm saying. We gotta go through that growth process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We gotta really be in that growth. We gotta give grace in that growth process.
Yes.
We gotta start forgiving. Like, these are the fundamentals that's gonna liberate us. Just black people, it's gonna liberate our people. A lot of times we focus so much on the outward, what the white man doing, or what system's not working for me. Well, is the system that God gave you, apart from anything in this world, is that working? Or do you have any unforgiveness in your heart? Do you have any resentment in your heart because you're contributing a negative effect to the community when you have that stuff in your heart? It may not show in the natural, but it's working dividends in the spiritual. So you gotta forgive.
And that's actually one of the places that most people, that's the uncharted waters.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to get that deep into it. Because it's easier for us to push that off on somebody else than actually allowing ourselves to be at the center of that.
So, man, this was a good conversation, man.
Yeah.
It was a good conversation. It wasn't long enough. I was trying to go 30 minutes. People, you know what I mean? I feel like that was the right conversation to have tonight. Yeah. I think sometimes, man, I want to let God lead me. I'm really adamant about that now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's things I want to talk about, but wherever the Spirit goes, there shall I be, because I want to be in the presence. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to translate a message that can help somebody define where they are and inspire somebody to be just a step better. You know what I mean? Just, just continuous improvement. I named my nonprofit organization Kaizen Incorporated. And Kaizen was when I think the Japanese in Hiroshima was trying to rebuild. They built the business model and they called it Kaizen. And what Kaizen means is continuous improvement, steady improvement. Just get better, 1% better every day. That's what it means. That's what there's business philosophy. What business applications, what business model can we put in place to help us get better and rebuild every day? Because some of us in our life right now are trying to rebuild something that got destroyed. So now we just need to get better every day. Just 1% better every day. Don't try to bite the whole thing off. There's a reason why you fail. Yeah. Let's talk about it for real. There's a reason why you fell off. Yeah. There's a reason why you're struggling sometimes. Sometimes we got to be willing to go to the root. It ain't all the time somebody doing something new.
Right, exactly.
It's not all the time it's somebody broke your heart. Sometimes you was in position, you got your heart broke because God told you and you seen what you should have seen at the beginning, but you decided not to look. So there's a way that's right unto man, but at the end thereof, there's destruction. It feels right at first. Yeah. But if it's wrong in the spiritual, by the time you get to the place, it's gonna erupt.
There's always a yield sign. There's always a yellow light.
Absolutely.
if you can go through all of them like they're green lights, but eventually you're gonna hit that brick wall. You can go through all of them like they're green lights, but you're gonna eventually hit that brick wall. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, that brings us to the place of allowing ourselves to be able to be forgiven. Because once you truly understand, once you truly, you break down those layers, you get to the center of it, you'll realize, man, I had a little more control over this than what I thought I did.
Absolutely.
But I've relinquished my control over to the thing versus allowing myself to actually have control over the thing. And so, like we can blame it on a lot of things, 50 years.
Yeah.
50 years. And it was unforgiven what your father may have done. But why was he the way that he was after that 50 years?
And that's the question. That's where we share in suffering. That's why you have to know that you have the capacity to repeat the same behavior.
Absolutely.
AKA explore your capacity for evil. That's why you have to really understand that you can't ignore things. That's why you can't look outside of yourself. You got to look inwardly. Mm-hmm. You cannot do it. I'm such a proponent on that now. Mm-hmm. My mom used to teach me, she used to never let me not take responsibility. I hated it. It killed me, Ivan. If I went
don't
to
feel
school
good.
And somebody did something, what did you do? Every time. But Ivan, when I got into a crisis, when I got into trouble, I didn't look. I remembered what my mama told me. Train a child in the way it should go, you can finish it.
And when they get older, they won't depart from it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what that means. So now, even in any struggle that I'm experiencing, I'm realizing the healing comes from the responsibility I take in every situation that was manifested in my life.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Absolutely.
Every situation.
Every single one of them.
And listen, man. Listen. This was a beautiful conversation, man. Yes. I feel like y'all please subscribe to the Deep Surface Experience, guys. The reason why I changed it to the Deep Surface Experience, because I want to share our experiences.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I want to come from a place of authenticity.
Yeah.
People are tired of hearing. People are tired of being sold to. People are tired of janky stuff. People are tired of arguing about is the woman at fault for the fall of the family? Is the man at fault for the fall of the family? Dude, having babies outside of wedlock? Is Kevin Samuels the godfather? Is feminism taking over the world? Yeah. All of these things that distracting from the real purpose of building ourselves to the best versions of what God created.
Yes.
And our people are beautiful.
Yeah.
Even through the chaos, even through the trauma, look at the gifts that we exude. Yeah. We take, given the opportunity, we take over things. Yeah. We shine through them. We're God's people.
Yeah. And we just really got to get to the place of why do we question more of those things other than the fact that we were created to create?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
We were simply created to create. Come on, y'all. Like we can unhash all of these different problems. We can talk about them, right? And some of us might not have any experience with them. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to ask you about all of those things. Who are you? What are you? Why are you? Where are you? What did you leave?
That's good.
What type of thing did you create during your time of creation?
Absolutely. That's good, Ivan.
What did you create during your time of creation? Did you create arguments? Did you create problems?
Come on, that's good,
Or
Ivan.
did you
That's
actually
good.
create something? Did you create something? Because that's the only, I'm coming to the idea that, purpose, it feels like it's something that changes. It feels like something that has this deep meaning that we're chasing. And it's simple. We were purposed to create. That's it. Simply. And I don't mean that you got to go and have children. I'm not saying that you got to become an artist. I'm not saying you got to be a musician. I'm not saying that you have to be a writer or an architect. What I'm saying is everybody has been endowed with a special gift.
There you go.
And you're wasting time and breath arguing about things that don't matter regardless.
It doesn't, because time fixes those things.
Absolutely.
Because people will move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It'll be feminist today, but it'll be something else tomorrow.
It'll be toxic masculinity tomorrow.
But or it'll be global warming, like real global warming.
Right.
Or it'll be now AI. You know what I mean? The conversation shall evolve.
Or an invasion from another planet.
So it's the conversation will always shift to something else.
Absolutely.
But what can stay? Your character can stand up louder than your mouth.
Absolutely.
Isn't that the thing that you let? And this is what this is about. When your character stands up, flaws and all, the breastplate of right. Come on now.
The breastplate of righteousness.
It's standing up. It got scars on it. You've been slashed. You've been hit. You've been poked. So no, you're not perfect, but boom. It's the whole armor of God.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean the perfect armor of God.
Yes.
It's the whole armor of God.
Yes.
We have to suffer. Suffering is beautiful because it gives you the real look at God's love for us.
Yes.
When you come out of suffering, like a second out of suffering, out of your storm, it's like your storm never existed.
Yeah.
It's like when the athlete been out for so long.
It's that bliss moment.
It's like, oh my God, like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what God is trying to tell us, man. Like, listen, bro, all this you're going through, in one moment, I can take all of this away. That's essentially what bliss is. Yeah. In one moment, you guys thinking yourself, no, every time you look back on when you overcame something, you was like, I was tripping on that, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
Right.
I was tripping because you learn. But the important part is, man, like, let's be efficient now in our suffering by not putting our lips on our brother. Let's be efficient in our suffering by forgiving our brothers. Let's be efficient in our suffering so we can cut down on time. Every generation is supposed to suffer less. It's not that you pass financial things to them. Pass character to your children.
Yes, absolutely.
Pass respect to your children.
Absolutely.
Because out of those things, wealth will come to you. When you're postured, when your character's postured, wealth has no choice but to be absorbed. It has no choice because it's attracted to power.
Exactly.
Everything in this world is attracted to power. Women are attracted to power. They're not attracted to weak men. I'm sorry. They're just not. It's just a realistic piece to it. That's we can end all this conversation. It's just about power and competence, your ability to be postured. Men, stay postured. Even when you feel lonely, like even when you feel like you're about to fall, stay postured. Keep your lips off people. Look inward. Your strength comes from, if you keep giving all your strength out by talking about people, you won't have nothing to absorb. No. So talk to yourself like David did. Encourage yourself. Even when you don't know what's going on, encourage. That's what I have to do every day. Encourage myself. Right. Man, God. Man, y'all describe at the deep surface, man. Encourage yourself, man. Man, this is a beautiful conversation, brother. This is a beautiful conversation, man. It really is.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man. I feel like this is where God wants us right now.
Absolutely.
Like this is the moment that the deep surface experience was born. I believe that with all my heart because I wasn't speaking tonight. It was God. It was my experience.
Absolutely.
It was what I walk every day. Yeah. So if I'm authentic to that, if I'm real to that, then I cannot lose. No, there's no losing in that. There's no lose because submitting to God, giving him everything. There's no more me. It doesn't matter what I lost. I gained because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to continue to get better. You know what, men? Y'all continue to get better. Women, y'all continue to get better. Children, y'all continue to get better. Parents, y'all continue to get better. Community, y'all y'all continue to get better. The world continue to get better. I know that we talk about the destruction of the world. I know it is inevitable that the world is going to destroy itself, and that maybe that might be true. But there's a few good men, there's a few good women that can stand up and just be decent people. It can stand up and be righteous, stand up and be holy, stand up and be pure, stand up and just be. I ain't talking about being better than nobody. I ain't talking about separating yourself. I'm talking about being in the world, but not of the world. I'm talking about, and when you're not of the world, you don't have to judge them. Stand beside them, talk to them, give them your love. Let your light be greater than their darkness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't succumb to the darkness. You know what I mean? And that's what God is teaching me right now, man.
Yeah.
You got any more last words before we go?
Man, you wrapped it up. You summed it up. I mean, we just got to stay in the place of creation. We got to stay in the place of creation. And the only way that we're going to be able to get there is by going within.
There you go. Y'all subscribe this time for real. We out, man. We love y'all. Thank you. Hey, listen, if you want to subscribe online and hey, man, subscribe. It's $4.99, right? For the deep surface content. I think on Instagram. Y'all, if y'all want to do that, donate. Do that right now. Because we trying to grow we trying to grow this business as well. Don't we sound like preachers? Like doing offering. Now y'all don't have to donate nothing.
No. Y'all
do that. Yeah,
y'all do need to donate.
Nah, I don't want to take money from people.
No, okay. Well, it's a donation. We ain't taking nothing.
But you know, if we deliver good content, let's put it like that. Put it like this. If we're elite at what we do, if it blesses you, then donate.
Yeah.
Donate to the Deep Surface Pod, because the Deep Surface Experience, because I want to take this message everywhere. I want to give to people. I want to build communities. I want to build a network. I want to be NBC. I want to be ABC. If we're going to change the narrative, let's change the narrative, because the future is going to be where we are right now. People are going to be watching us over video. Everyday normal people doing podcasts and talking, exchanging ideas. Let's make sure that we want to be a light here at the Deep Surface Pod.
Absolutely.
Experience. We don't always want to delve into drama. We'll talk about things, but we also want to talk about things to where there's a solution always attached to it.
Absolutely.
There's plenty more shows that's doing the same thing. So let's continue to grow. But what you gonna say before we go?
Oh no, I was gonna say a donation is a donation. It's something that you can choose to do. We're not gonna ask you to do anything outside of your will, but donate. If this did something for you, donate. And you know how your best donation, share it with somebody else.
Yeah, it don't have to be money. Be involved. Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't have to be money. Although I said $4.99, but $4.99. I could listen. I'm an elite salesperson, so I could actually sell. But you know what I want to speak. I want our content. I want our heart to fully be invested.
Absolutely.
And that's why I've never asked for anything, because I didn't feel like I was worthy yet, because God was still shaping and molding me to find my cadence. And I think I'm finding it. Mm-hmm. I think I'm allowing. I think that's what, that's the power of forgiveness. That's the power of letting go, because God doesn't sit in unholy places. And when you strive for righteousness, there the Holy Spirit can bring out a pure word in you, and that word can go to somebody who's crying right now.
Absolutely.
Somebody who don't know how they're going to make it, who's scrolling on YouTube, just found us. What are we saying to make that better? Because think about it. We're all on YouTube. We're all on social media, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Let's be lights. And I don't care who's doing, and we ain't going to talk about the people who doing drama, because everybody got something going on.
Absolutely.
I may not be doing drama on camera, but I might be doing it off camera.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to give everybody grace. And give us $4.99. We out.